Hello everyone and welcome to the December 2021 Energetic Insights. And for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Depika Mystery and I'm an intuitive guide, energy healer, coach and a consultant. And for over 2 years now, I've been sharing these insights on a month-by-month basis. And it's really geared up for those of you guys that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if that sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. So how are you all doing? How was November for you? I know it was pretty intense, and I feel that December is just going to be the second half of November with another set of intensities, but in a different way, where there's a sense of an awakening that is happening as well. So one of the key things that the guides really said to me is that there's each and every one of us have got this ability to gain a higher perspective as long as we are grounded, really grounded in our human body and really anchored and centered in our heart center. And as we do that, we'll be able to see what's going on in the collective consciousness from a higher perspective. And there'll be this sense of kind of remembering this multi-dimensional nature of who we truly are. And thereby remembering that, we've got another perspective on what's really playing out and the game that is being playing out. And we'll get various different insights throughout this month. So just bear in mind that there's this opportunity to be able to step back and step out and perceive things in a whole new light. And what the guides were also saying is that think about it this way, or less about thinking, more about feel beyond your thinking mind was the key words that they gave. Feel beyond your thinking mind. So really allow yourself to feel and sense what's going on rather than trying to think or trying to analyze what is actually going on. And the more you step into that feeling center, the more aware that you become of everything that is going on. And also there's this awareness of what will become even more clear for some of us is the narratives that we're feeding into our mental system. So we'll be able to see ourselves in a way of that we are this computer system, and we'll be able to see what we're feeding ourselves. It's not just the food that we eat, it's the energy that we feed ourselves, the dialogues, the narratives, the stories, and we'll just have a level of awareness of that. So it's a really cool month, but for some of us it might feel really intense and overwhelming, and some of us may want to check out of our bodies. So the key thing here is to really make sure that you're grounded and anchored in your heart center. So, and one final point of this is there's going to be this, the more what's the best way I can explain this? There's a deepening sense of yourself. So the more that you allow yourself to really know who you are, the greater clarity you'll get on what's going out in the collective consciousness. So really practicing that deepening of the sense of self, and then what you'll gain is a greater sense of clarity. All right, before we move on to the 4 key themes for this month, let's take a moment to revisit the themes for November. So the 4 key themes for November were shake up, wake up, building bridges, new beginnings, and prosecution healing. If any of those themes are resonating with you, do go back and have a look at the November insights. And with all the monthly insights, you know, a lot of the themes do continue to play out in the coming months as well. So it's always good to kind of have a look at the themes from the previous months. All right, let's move on to the first theme. So the first theme this month is called Earth Warriors. And this was really interesting because I'm thinking, what is this? Are we fighting for the earth or something like that? And the guys were kind of showing me that there's a whole new level of awakening that is happening on the earth center. So there's many of us is going to start to feel this shift in frequency, the shift in vibration, and a shift in energy that is being emitted from the earth. So there's almost like many of us are going to feel this call to align to these new frequencies that's been emitted by the earth. So there's a sense of aliveness, a sense of awakening. So many of you guys that are already connected to trees, for example, and can hear them sing, can hear them talk, and have a really strong bond and connection with them, and have this wonderful communication to that, that is going to expand, that is going to deepen. And it's almost like we're plugging into this whole beautiful earth matrix, or more less like a matrix, but more of a network. So the connectedness of the earth, and how the earth is connected to everything and everyone. So the way in which we'll experience this, that we'll almost get new lenses in the way that we feel and sense and observe, like raindrops, sunsets, sunrises, forests, the skies, the clouds, the stars, trees, and also the ocean, the lakes, and just water in generally. So it's almost like we've got this new level of awareness and a new level of connection to things that we've just become so accustomed to. This is our world. This is what it's, you know, we have a sunrise, we have a sunset, we have a forest, we have trees. It is what it is. But there's a new sense, new level of connection and a new level of attunement. It's almost like we are going to be aligning ourselves to these frequencies and these vibrations of the earth. So, you know, many of us will find our minds, our bodies, and our heart centers shifting and aligning to this frequency. So every time we align to a new level of frequency that is greater than what we're holding at the moment in our body, there's a whole new level of adjustment that happens. And the adjustment is generally a cleansing, a clearing, to create that space to align that. So even when the new energy comes in, there's an activation that happens within us. So therefore, our mind, our body, and our emotional system, and our energetic system is shifting, and it's almost like it's reconfiguring itself to allow itself to be connected in this wider earth network. And so therefore it will change our perception and our mindset in terms of when it comes to the earth. So some of you guys are going to maybe go more into being activists for the Earth Center. Some of you guys are going to be carrying and vibrating this Earth frequency in your day-to-day life, so it's helping other people to connect more to the energy of the Earth. And then there'll be some of you guys that will probably be channeling more of the wisdom that is also coming from the Earth and sharing that. And it's almost not just this earth as it is today, but the earth that it was in the past, in the future, and in different dimensions. So this is pretty big. So grounding here is going to be key, and just become aware of how your body is feeling, how your mind, you know, if your mind is racing or your emotions are coming out, just allow yourself to process everything on a more conscious level. All right, let's move on to the second theme. So the second theme for this month is called Harness the Elements. So I feel, again, it's kind of linked to the earth theme, and I feel that there's a strengthening of our connection to the 5 key elements. So we have a beautiful opportunity here to really connect to the 5 elements, which are earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. And what I feel with all of these harnessing that is, it's almost, if you think about portals being open up for us to really strengthen and deepen our connection with these elements, and really harness the frequency for our own healing, harness the frequency for the healing of the collective consciousness. And it's almost like we're bringing through these new energies just by being ourselves and working on ourselves. So for the earth represents grounding. So what I got here is going to be really important to take. You can put these into practices each and every day. So for the earth element, which is to do with grounding, is each and every day throughout this month, just take a moment to ground intentionally, whether that is something that you're doing, you know, standing barefoot in sand, grass, soil, or yeah, I've said that, sand, grass, or soil, or visualizing that you're grounding. And you can visualize grounding by imagining the soles of your feet connecting to the roots of the tree and the back of your your back is kind of resting against a tree trunk, and really anchor yourself, your physical body and your energetic system into the earth. And what this will do is create a deeper connection with the earth, so you can really start to harness the earth's energy in this way. Also, grounding mats will be useful, especially those of you guys that are around a lot of electromagnetic frequencies. Having a grounding mat as you work or while you sleep will be really helpful and beneficial to you as well. That's the second element is water. This is all about cleansing, but cleansing through your emotions. So many of you guys already started feeling in November this, overwhelming sense of grief and sadness. And some of you guys may have felt regret as well. So it's allowing these emotions to kind of come through you, and using the element of water, whether it's through tears, to kind of release them. So you can have tears, you can have a shower with intentions to help you to cleanse everything and anything that you no longer need to hold on to, any emotions that's stored in your body or in your energetic system. Just set the intention to cleanse it, right? And you can also use Epsom salt baths. And for some of you guys, those that are really big fans of sauna, that is another great way of cleansing, and that's also very detoxifying. So just take a moment to see how can you incorporate the element of water to help you with this cleansing process this month. The third element is fire, and this is really about clearing. So clearing out and creating new space, so that you can allow new things to kind of come in. This one really is focusing on the really noticing the energy of rage, fear, and anger, and how that shows up in your life, and where in your body does that show up. Where do you feel it? Does the fear come first and then the rage and the anger, or is there anger and rage and there's a fear that is hidden underneath it? So really trying to get to the bottom of, if you're feeling the rage and anger, what is the fear behind that rage and anger? And how does it present itself? When does it present itself? And how often does it present itself? So it's around really allowing yourself to become more and more consciously aware of when these feelings are kind of coming up. And what the guide said was that for some of us, the rage, the fear, and the anger that we might be feeling, it may not be linked to an experience that we're having right now in this moment. It could be linked to a past life where there's some sort of the sense of injustice done, and therefore there is a rage. It's almost like you're remembering an injustice, and all this rage is coming out and coming through. Or something when you were a child. So something that's around past life and inner child healing that is also linked to this element of fire this month. The fourth one is air, and air is really around alignment. And alignment meaning is how are you communicating, and what you're communicating is in alignment. So what I mean by that is, are the words that you speak are in alignment with the thoughts that you think, with the emotions that you feel? And is your energy vibration that you're emitting, is it in alignment with the words, your thoughts, and your emotions? So it's really about aligning yourself in this way, and the element of earth will help you. So focus on what you're communicating, focus on who you're talking to, and ask yourself, am I in alignment? Is what I'm saying true to me in all aspects of myself? And also this alignment is about change. So those of you guys that are on, I think many of us are going through a really massive period of change right now, externally and internally. And just kind of pay attention to where the resistance is, because the resistance will show you where you're out of alignment with the change that you're intending and desiring, but not quite fully in it, or grabbing it and what's the best, really becoming it and embodying this change. So it's really about aligning yourself to what you are desiring, and making sure the way in which you're communicating is also in alignment. So what I just got now is that you can almost imagine this a beautiful kind of, when you have a fan blowing on you and it kind of blows your hair back, imagine that happening from the top of your head blowing down your body. So if you can imagine that, and you can set the intention, so as this fan that's above my head blows down, it helps me to align myself with my highest potential, and see what happens, and just play around with that. And it's just about really becoming consciously aware of how you are out of alignment, which is resistance will be the key for that. All right, and the fifth element is spirit, and this is really about embodying the energy of trust. So, you know, I often get asked many times, it's like, oh, how do I trust? How do I know that my guides are speaking to me? How do I connect with my guides a little bit better? How do I know that they're there? How do I know that they're helping me? And it always comes back to trust. The more you can step into the energy of trust, the more you become aware, and the more that you'll be able to hear their messages in the way in which they're communicating with you. So it's maybe you can do an exercise here is, where do you lack trust in yourself? Is there a belief that prevents you from trusting in yourself? Is there a belief that prevents you from trusting in your guides? And when I'm asking these questions, what I'm hearing is also, where else do you feel that you're not good enough? And that also takes you away from embodying the energy of trust. There's another part of it here. There's an element here which is also around really being present. And the more you allow yourself to trust yourself and believe that there's a guiding force that is helping you, that is always there for you, and all you're learning to do is actually learn their language, that will help you in this process of really embodying the trust. Because we're all kind of programmed to say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But this is more about believing it before you see it, because you're already feeling it, and it's really stepping into that knowing. So this is about really harnessing that sense of unknown knowing that we all have and we all know of. All right, let's move on to the third theme for this month. The third theme is called I Am a Creator. And there was a beautiful message that came through from the guides, which I'm just going to read out to you. So just take a big breath and just inhale and then exhale. And just allow your body to relax and open up your heart and allow yourself to receive this message from the guides. And the guides said, it is time for you to remember you are a creator. You are not powerless. You have just been programmed to forget the power you hold within you. You have been taught to live in fear and to value a definition of safety and security. Now is the time to walk into your darkness and witness your greatest light. So just take a moment to absorb that message in and allow yourself to feel it throughout your entire body. So this is really about the message behind this, and what I'm interpreting from the guides is really about remembering the power that is within you and your ability, each and every one of us ability to create. At the moment, so many of us are focusing on fighting, judging, shaming, something that we're not in alignment with, something that we don't believe in, something that we're not happy with, something that we're disgusted by what we're seeing in the outer world, but also in our inner world. So we end up in this space where we are fighting, we are judging, we are shaming. And what the guides were saying is that you can either invest your energy in that, or you can invest the energy in creation. And with creation, it's about really tuning in and tapping into your heart's desire. What is it that you're desiring for yourself? What is it that you want to create? What kind of reality that you want to live in? What world do you want to live in? How does that feel like? How does that smell like? How does that look like? How does that sound like? And really use your senses to kind of go into it. And for many of us, and for many of you guys, you may feel, well, I can't do that. That's not real. I'm just make-believing. I'm making it up. But that's exactly where you need to go into. So you're almost you're creating that in this other dimension, so to say, call it your imagination dimension. You're creating in your imagination dimension. And when you get crystal clear of that, you'll be able to bring that through into this reality. So you'll be able to create that. So it's giving yourself the permission to go ahead and be your creative selves. And what you will find is that when you are very clear on what you're desiring and you take the steps to kind of really create that in this reality, you'll start to see your world change, and then eventually you'll start to see the outer world change, because all change starts within ourselves. So here are some questions that will help you. So those of you guys that feel, well, I tried, I'm not a creator, I'm not a creative being, I can't create no matter how hard I tried, you know, the whole world is against me. And if you're in that mindset, you know, just be aware that you're then shifting your energy into more of the victim consciousness, right? So be conscious about it, be okay with it, and just say, well, actually, you know what, right now I'm in victim consciousness. I'm just going to stay there for a little bit. I'm going to throw my tantrum and just be there for a moment. And then when you're ready, just take a moment to ask yourself these questions. And the questions are, what does it mean to be a creator to you? What does it mean to be a creator to you? Or better way of phrasing it, what does it mean to you to be a creator? So what does it mean to you to be a creator? What are the stories, the narratives that you tell yourself that block you from creating? Or what are the stories or the narratives, or what are the things that people outside of you have told you about you being a creator or a creative being? And then take a moment and ask yourself, what reality would you like to create? What reality would you like to live in? And then ask yourself, you know, what am I fighting? What am I judging? What am I shaming? And get really clear about the fighting and the judging and the shaming. And that will also highlight your blocks to you. And then you can go into say, why am I fighting that? Why am I shaming that? Why am I judging that? What is the benefit that I get from it? You know, and then just kind of take another perspective from this and ask yourself, you know, where do you block yourself from creating? So sometimes we have this kind of thing to say, no, I can't do that. Oh no, that's not possible. Or if I create and someone else is going to be jealous of me, so it's better to keep myself small. So just become aware of that in the ways in which you might be blocking yourself from creating. This month, there's a beautiful energy on where we can really tune in and get really crystal clear about what it is that we want to create, and also start to create that and really make that our new reality. So that is the third theme for this month. Let's move on to the fourth and final theme. And this one, I feel it was just something that the guys gave me some tools for you guys to take a moment to reflect on this year that's just gone by. So this theme, the fourth theme, is called reflection and purging. And you know, for many of us, we have gone through various different cycles and various different levels, and various different layers have kind of come up. There's been a massive year of purging this year. So really take a moment to reflect on who you were a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 1 month ago, a week ago. So take a moment to reflect on who you were. And then take a moment to reflect on how you used to, you know, your thoughts. What were your thoughts like a year ago? What, you know, 6 months ago, 3 months, a month, a week ago? What was your belief system like a year ago, etc., etc.? And what made you feel safe? So just take a moment to reflect on those key points, on, you know, who you were, how did you think, what was your belief system like, and what made you feel safe. And when you kind of jot it down over the year, the 6 months, the 3 months, the 1 month, and the week, and you can almost put a table together and just write on, you know, on the left hand side, put all these who you were, how you thought, what you believed in, what made you feel safe on the left hand side, and at the top you can put a year, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and a week, and kind of do that exercise and fill in that table, and you'll be able to see the change that you've gone through. I think we don't actually give ourselves enough credit or take a moment to reflect how far we've actually come, because we get so caught up in the next level of purging that we don't actually take that moment to reflect on. And as you're doing this exercise, just specifically note what you have released, what have you purged in terms of your mindset, in terms of the stories and narratives, the emotions, energy, whether it's past life, ancestral stuff, any traumas, wounds that have come from this lifetime, past lifetime. Just take a moment to notice all of that. And then take a moment then to notice the ways in which you've become more integrated. So I feel for many of us this year, not only have we been going through these cycles of purging, but we've also been going through this whole kind of reconfiguration where we're reintegrating with who we truly are. So take a moment to notice throughout the last year, ways in which you gave yourself permission, and the ways in which you stepped into the energy of courage, the ways in which you were strong for yourself or someone else around you, and the way in which you shift your level of awareness and perception of yourself and the world around you. And then once you've done that exercise, the most important part of this exercise is take a moment to congratulate yourself, celebrate who you've become, right? And then encourage yourself to continue on this path with excitement, with curiosity, without pushing, oh, I'm totally broken, I need to do more work on myself. More like, oh my goodness, I am so proud of myself with everything that I've achieved this year, in terms of all the purging that I've done, in terms of the alignments that I've done, in terms of how more consciously aware I've become of myself, and how much I've given myself the permission to continue to evolve and change with grace, and then just give yourself permission to continue on that path with this energy of playfulness and curiosity. And then the last part of this is, and if there's anything else that you are aware of that that you want to shift or change or purge, just set the intention for that for the end of this year, so that you can start the new year on this new space. So I hope that has helped you this month, and thank you once again all for watching these insights, and thank you all of you that have shared your kind words of gratitude and appreciation. I truly and utterly appreciate you. These insights started off with a few people watching it, and maybe like a handful, and now there's quite a few of you guys watching it. So I'm super happy that you get so much out of these insights, and that they support you. And I've often find that people have said they watch it at the beginning of the month and then back at the end of the month, and they have a completely different experience of that. So do go back and watch it at the end of the month as well. And as always, if you have enjoyed these insights, please do go ahead and share this with your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues, your family, and feel free to comment below. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube, or like a heart if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram. And then sorry, I just forgot the last bit. And just to let you know, there is no energetic alignment session this month. The next one is probably going to be taking place on the 3rd of January and or the 23rd of Jan. So just keep your eyes peeled out on that. I haven't quite yet made my mind up of, am I doing both or am I just doing one? And if you're missing the alignment sessions, do go ahead and go to anumi.com/shop. There's a whole bunch of alignment sessions there that you can download and have it on your phone on the go to listen to whenever you want. And then finally, if you haven't already seen, I was on a podcast with Sandy K, nutritionist. I'll post the link below. That was a great conversation on past life and everything and anything. And then also this month, the Overworked podcast is releasing another episode that I did with them, which is series 2, episode 5, and it's called How to Embrace Change. So I think that's a great episode to listen to, especially those of you guys that are maybe struggling with change or want to get some more clarity or insights of how to navigate change. So thank you everyone, and wishing you a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you in 2022. Take care and bye bye for now.